The Perma-Spike Factory. On release, it was one of the most overpowered monkeys of all time, but now it's just a solid chimp's tower that you can build a strategy around. What happened to bring such a powerful upgrade down to Earth and doesn't need any more changing? At the start, the Perma-Spike upgrade cost $22,000 and would place a spike pile down every 3 seconds, and the middle crosspath would bring that down to every 1.68. Add on the fact that these spikes would last almost 6 minutes, and the pile of spikes it could produce at the end of the track was massive, big enough to solo the rounds until the 90s. But in version 2.0, only a month and a half after the initial release, the Perma-Spike's price was increased from $22,000 to $25,000, and its attack speed was halved, making it now lay a spike pile every 6 seconds instead of 3. And this is where it stayed for over a year. Half as strong and more expensive than before. But on September 18th, 2019, version 12 came out, increased its price to $30K, and decreased the spike pile's duration from 350 seconds to 300. So it's less than half as strong and more expensive than before. Shortly after this, smart spikes got reworked to give 4 times attack speed for the first 2.5 seconds of each round. This is great if things make it to the end of the track early on in a round, but this isn't much of a factor for a perma-spike, as you typically stall each round for a super long time to get the max number of spike piles, so it really didn't affect much. And here's where it stayed for just over a year. But on February 11th, 2021, Ninja Kiwi tried to even out the cross paths. You see, at this point the middle cross path had been dominating the conversation as it was much better than the 205. So to even this out, Ninja Kiwi increased the base attack speed of the perma-spike from 6 seconds down to 4.85, but kept the middle cross path's attack speed about the same. So this was strictly a buff to the 205, which was still irrelevant. What was a nice buff though was in update 24, the smart targeting priority started placing spikes as far back on the track as it can rather than as far forward. This is huge as we want our spikes to only be used if things were going to leak, and is the one big buff in the perma-spike's history. Fast forward 7 months to October 14th, 2021, and the top crosspath received a couple buffs to bring each pile's pierce up from 70 to 90. This made the crosspaths pretty even for the first time, but the 025 normally worked better with buffs like an alchemist. And this is roughly where it stayed for about 2 years. There was an attempt to reduce its pierce and increase damage in update 36, but that was reverted shortly after. But then update 38.0 came out on July 26th, 2023 and nerfed both crosspaths. They raised the base perma-spike's attack rate from 4.85 seconds to 6.0625 and increased the middle crosspaths from 2.72 to 3.4 seconds. This was slightly offset by increasing the start of round attack speed duration from 2.5 seconds to 10, but like we said before, this normally doesn't matter too much as we try to stall the rounds to max out the piles anyway. And in update 44, the 025 attack cooldown was increased from 3.4 seconds to 3.636. But this brings us to where we are today, update 45.0, where the 205's pierce was reduced from 90 to 85 to keep the paths even, and you can honestly choose either crosspath. So Ninja Kiwi has done a solid job balancing this out, and it's still a very viable solution to beat even some of the harder maps on chimps. This is crazy to say, as the 025's factory went from placing a spike pile every 1.35 seconds to every 3.636. Its price was increased by 8 grand, and its spikes went from lasting 350 seconds to 300, making the perma-spike about 1/3 as good as it was when released. And honestly, I'd say it's in a pretty good spot.